Communication over standard telephone lines has evolved over the years as well and represents its own set of challenges. Let's look at an overview of what we're going to cover. First, we're going to discuss how computers communicate with each other and some special challenges in communicating over phone lines. Then we'll discuss how modems work and what features and standards modems use. We'll also talk about how to configure a modem using Windows 9X or Windows 2000 and how to troubleshoot modem operations. And finally, we'll discuss high-speed digital communication lines, including ISDN, DSL, and cable modems. So let's start off with modem communication over standard telephone lines. Communication over the phone lines involves both virtual communication and direct communication. Virtual communication takes place between the counterpart layers at each end of a transmission. Direct communication occurs between the adjacent layers. So in other words, when two people are communicating with each other using modems through telephone lines, it appears to them as if there was a direct communication. But there isn't. That communication is virtual. The direct communication starts at the communication software. The communication software then communicates with the operating system software, which communicates with the computer hardware. The computer hardware then communicates with a modem. The modem translates the information so that it can be sent over a phone line. It's sent to the modem on the other end, and that modem communicates with the computer hardware, which communicates with the operating system software, which in turn communicates with the communication software, and then to the user. So although it may appear as if the communication is direct, what's actually happening is the communication is going through all of the different layers. Now, in order to put the communication onto the phone line, the modem converts the communication into something that a phone line can understand. And the only thing that a phone line can understand is sound. So a modem, which stands for modulate, demodulate, modulates digital data from a computer to an analog format that can be sent over a telephone line, in other words, sound. Then, on the other side, the data is demodulated back into digital form so that the receiving computer can understand it. Now, the great thing about modems is that they use standard telephone line connections. These are called RJ11 connections. RJ stands for registered jack, and RJ11 connections are available almost everywhere. They're found on modems, on telephones, and in our house phone outlets. So we use standard connections, and we can connect modems so that we can communicate through telephone lines. There are many different types of modems, and we'll discuss the different types of modems and how to configure modems in our next section.